Welcome to another episode of Should You Play. This time, we'll be talking about a little game called Dead Cells. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Dead Cells is a roguelike Metroidvania game developed by Motion Twin. In Dead Cells, players must travel a procedurally generated world, find new blueprints to gain new weapons, abilities, power-ups, and cold hard cash. The game revolves around the collection of cells, and the subsequent completion of the current level to cash in those cells and gain permanent new upgrades like unlocking blueprints or a larger healing flask, which is incredibly necessary. Throughout the reconfiguring levels, players come across scrolls that can increase one of three attributes: brutality, survival, or tactics. Each of these upgrades health or damage for weapons of that attribute. For example, the starting sword scales with brutality, while the starting bow scales with tactics. However, choosing the same attribute to increase will slowly give the player less and less of a bonus to their health. Both pure builds using only one attribute and hybrid builds using multiple are viable, as one will give the player a ton of damage, given that both their weapons and abilities rely on one attribute, or the player will have a well-rounded build with less damage but way more health. In between each level, there is a small moment of respite, however, allowing the player to use or save up their cells, choose a mutation, and completely fill up on health and healing flasks. Mutations act as passive abilities for the current run, resetting when the player wins or, more likely, dies. The game starts off with limited mutations, but as with weapons and equipment, you can find more by exploring and playing the game. Bosses and elite monsters are also present in the game, but not necessarily at the end of each level. Players who have played for long enough, looked up optimal routes, and unlocked necessary runes can go several levels without ever even encountering the first boss, essentially gaining in power and becoming very destructive for later levels. Defeating bosses or elites can grant the player new runes that permanently give them new abilities, such as tickling vine plants so that they extend upwards, or gaining the ability to teleport via the sarcophagi. Sarcophaguses? Sarcophages? I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but one of those. There are many more secrets to be found in Dead Cells, like elemental synergies. However, I'll let you guys play and figure things out for yourselves. We don't want to spoil everything now, do we? On to the visuals. The aesthetics of Dead Cells is fantastic. Everything is well defined and crystal clear in a pixelated kind of way. This game is very colorful, and every weapon has a different animation and combo to it. This is one of those things I love the most about this game. There is so much variety packed into this game, and everything feels unique and really responsive. The only thing I dislike about Dead Cells is that although the game recommends playing with a controller, avoid the left analog stick at all costs and just use your D-pad. I feel as if the left stick is way too sensitive, and having it at any angle downwards will make the character crouch. You can very clearly see me struggling with this at the very start of the game. If you enjoy action-adventure games and roguelike games, you will enjoy Dead Cells. However, if you don't like dying and losing some or all of your progress, avoid Dead Cells. Much like all other roguelikes, such as Binding of Isaac and Souls-like games, you die a lot, and if you don't like dying a lot, you will get frustrated. So, should you play Dead Cells? For me, it's a definitive yes. The aspect that this game is also a Metroidvania game, and an excellent one at that, with progress and a plethora of weapons and abilities to choose from, I will definitely be playing a lot of Dead Cells, and you should probably play it too. Thanks for watching another episode of Should You Play, and join us next time.